All right, guys. You guys want to blow up your back? Saw I blow my back up. You want a mass building back workout? Try this. You want bulging lats? You want Tyrannosaurus traps? You guys want lats like Dorian Yates with half the work and half fucking genetics? You want to figure out how to not work hard, get big? You want, this is the shortcut channel.
I put a Q&A up today, and someone asked me to, like, of all things, focus on like how to develop your upper back, which is like, I don't know anybody that has a problem with that, but like it made sense to me now, like, because I have to, with my shoulder and my shoulder being replaced, I have to like get my upper back, my scapula, my like rear delt, everything has to like activate again because it was in such a weird pattern for so long that it's like dysfunctional. It's almost like my right shoulder is more mobile now than my left, which is fucking insane because my left, there's nothing wrong with it apparently. My right is like hyper mobile now compared to my left, like fucking. So I've been trying to do upper back focused stuff. I'm trying to just get contraction in areas of my upper back that I'm not necessarily going for other times because I don't try to train my upper back as it gets hit with everything. But there is shit you can do. Like this machine, not everyone has. Everyone has a cable pull down. There's variations of this machine that can be any overhead pull down. It doesn't need to be this one that's direct. I'll show you guys with another machine over there. So there's a variety of shit you can use. But if I do this here, you're gonna have to come behind me probably, sadly. Yeah. So the idea is when I'm grabbing up here, when I get to the bottom, I'm not gonna wanna be here like I've shown before where I'm open on my lat. I wanna be almost elbows pitched back and head forward. So my position from the side looks like that. Not here, I'm here. So I'm purposely trying to lock my scapula down, like I'm trying to pinch my shoulder blades together and then move from there. So I'm trying to keep this stable mid-back and let everything open around it and then pull in, right? So the idea is to be here. If I can start here, so I drop, instead of being here like on everybody else, like I'm trying to keep my head behind the bar and most stuff, I'm trying to drop forward here and I'm trying to squeeze elbows down and lock into my scapula. So my head's forward, I'm not here. I'm here. That head forward will elicit the contraction in your back. You don't have to think about where your elbows are. I don't need to think about how far back I'm pulling my elbows because now my elbows are in line with my body. I put my head forward and my elbows are now rolled back even further. So when I reach up here, I reach out from mid-back. I don't do this. So I'm not trying to go here and go out of here. I'm trying to keep my traps down and push out through my hands, extend, and then squeeze down behind. So I'm not rocking my body at all really. I'm just kind of swaying and flexing down. So you'll feel your back, like I said, it's hard to explain. If my back's here, I'm trying to squeeze down into my lat, like I'm trying to pull my lat in here at the bottom and let everything reach up and then contract down it. So I'm trying to get that like trap, upper trap, mid trap, all that upper back. I just cramp my back doing that.
Is that good or bad?
That's good. So I'm trying to get all that to hit. And it doesn't need to be like I'm doing 90 pounds, I'm holding with one arm. But I'm trying to, if I get too much weight on the bar, especially too soon, it's not about how much weight you can pull, it's how much contraction I can get. So if I can't get in this position and hold and start locked down, there's no point. Because if I start here and I start doing this, into here, it's not the same, right? So I want to be here and pitch elbows back and lock down through and be able to reach and feel my back open and then pull behind. It's basically a behind the neck pull that people do with cables, except they duck. They're always ducking because the bar will hit them in the fucking head. So this machine allows for you to do that straight down perfect pull and hit that upper back and allow your scapula and everything to move so that that area you might be lacking in, I don't know how that's even fucking possible, to be very honest with you, like that area will get hit finally, right? So we can do it on another machine as well. Try and find like a more machine that's more realistic for you guys. This isn't realistic, but it's fine. It's the same idea here. So obviously now I'm in front of me, I'm not above me. I'm still trying to hit the same area, but I'm gonna get more lat now. So I'm not trying to incorporate just my upper trap and mid trap. I'm gonna be able to lock down into lat and hold here. So again, I'm pulled back, heads forward. I'm not trying to be here, letting things drift away from me and pulling. I'm purposely locking in here and drifting head forward and head pressed back. So chin's down, head back. So I'm gonna let my hands release and I'm gonna stay here, but I'm gonna drive into upper back mid trap. So it's not as much, it's not this, like everyone does on here. There's nothing wrong with that. You're trying to hit different parts of your back. But here, if I'm locked down and trapped, there's crazy tension up the back of my head and this chin pressed here. And my head's forward, my weight's here. So when I set in here, I can hold here no problem because I'm digging into my knees. So when I drift out here, I slide shoulders back and drive. Just like I'm doing when I reach up here, I'm sliding down in. But now I'm reaching out here, pulling in instead of going here, right? So it's just different ways to hit that back and get that upper back to open. And if you're having trouble developing, or this guy's issue was he was having trouble feeling, which is like, I understand that you don't feel specific areas working. If you have any machine like that machine we just did over there and you don't feel your upper back on that, I'll be fucking shocked. Because that head position and this feeling of elbows pitched back and pulling down behind you here is literally something you can't get anywhere else unless you have a space to pull into. So if I don't have a space to move up into or drive my head through and be able to pull like a straight, strict pull down, you'll never get that feeling. You can't mimic that with a bar. Like I said, because you're doing this with a bar. So I'm always rolling forward and pulling behind me. I can't do this with a bar unless I lean back on the cable, hold the thing behind my head and literally pull down and then get yanked out of the seat. Because I have no knee support, right? You could. But the thing is that like you're limited, you're hindered in that because one, you weigh whatever you weigh. This is 90 pounds. I'm 300 and some odd pounds right now. I don't know what I am. I fluctuate daily right now because I'm a fucking fat pig, but it's like, you know, it's a lot easier to move the 90 and to be locked into a stagnant position and allow my back to actually recruit and squeeze than to be like, oh, I need to lift my fat ass up there. Even if I have the foot assist, I'm still doing too much, right? It's hard to isolate.
Could you do that like as a warm up into this?
I wouldn't recommend doing it at all, to be honest with you. Okay. Just because it's like you're already priming your body. I'm like, I want to hit this very finite area. Like I want to feel these muscles like roll and grab, and I'm gonna already get into this mode of being like, oh, I have to really generate some power to be able to do that. It's like, no, I want it to be as easy as possible so that assisting muscles that are stronger aren't immediately going, I'm gonna do that. Let's do that. That's too heavy. Let's get this involved. Let's get this involved. Let's do this. Like you want your body, like you've said in other videos and other stuff we talked about, if you're trying to hit lagging areas, you can't use that much weight to begin with because your dominating muscles or assisting muscles that are stronger are going to take over for what the fuck is it called? Like non-dominant muscle. So like I want those weak muscles or those muscles I'm trying to train to be able to work slowly and squeeze them to be like, and pull. You know what I mean? So you have to set your body up for success in terms of feeling stuff by lowering the weight sometimes. You guys and girls out there who find these like guru trainers, or like people that like everyone knows that like every bodybuilder and every fucking fitness competitor and all figure whatever, they're all susceptible to the next like influential person, right? But if that influential person knows nothing about the sport of bodybuilding and is literally just having you chasing your tail, like you're not getting anywhere by thinking that you're smarter than everyone. You get better by outworking everyone and being intelligent about how you train and developing properly and doing that kind of shit. So if you find these guys and girls who are like making you do all this ridiculous shit, I see it every day. Take that for what you will. I see it every day. So you're doing these wild exercises, these like limited range of motion things where it's like I'm over feeling stuff and look at the contraction I'm getting. It's like you're failing to understand the feeling doesn't mean that the growth is happening, because feeling comes from a lot of stuff. I can slam a tricep rope press down behind me and hold it there as long as I can, and then I can slam another one back there and I can hold it and it'll burn like a motherfucker. but it doesn't mean that anything's happening, right? Just like the same thing if I shorten my presses and I squeeze here and then I do very slow controlled things, it's like there's no stretch on the muscle, there's no like tear on the muscle, there's no range of motion, nothing's happening. And then you see these people, they glom onto these people who like make them think about things in a different way, but they're less effective. They're almost more physio-based and like sport-specific based, I guess you could say, explosiveness, which doesn't translate into bodybuilding or muscle. It doesn't. And it's like, and then you see these people, they've been working with such and such person for a long time or so-and-so, and their body has literally taken 3 steps back. Because now you're not working effectively, and the muscles that the body parts you already have that are dominant are still dominant, but the developing muscles that are subdominant are still not working. Like we've talked about 1,000 times, like there's glaring examples of people who are like training, think they're doing well. I can visually look at you and see that like that part's not growing still. And if I can see that, you better believe a judge on stage can see it, because I'm not a fucking judge. But you're standing there in front of them in your fucking tighty whities, hitting shots, and they can see, I can see through your shirt that there's nothing happening there. So when you take that shirt off and you pose, what do you think, that we're gonna be able to magically see something all of a sudden? If it's not visible to the naked eye to a person walking by you that like just visually looks at you like, oh wow, that guy has no back, but his shoulders are huge. Or that guy's chest is massive, but wow, he has 0 back. You know what I mean? Like, if I can see that from walking by you as a lay person, just walking around, there's no progress happening. You know what I mean? Because the dude who like came 3rd in the Prague show this week, Nextzilla, whatever the fuck that guy's name is, who's a fucking, looks like a mutant walking among us. That does not look like a human. That's not a human being. If that dude walked in here, everyone in here who thinks that they're doing well would be like, ooh, man, I maybe need to rethink my career path here, like, because I'm never gonna look like that dude. Like I would, if I was still competing and I saw that dude walk on stage and I'm like an established pro, or I'm a guy who's like up and coming, I'd be like, like, this dude's ahead of you by like 100 miles in terms of development and all this stuff, and he just turned pro and he's in his early 20s. What are you gonna do? Like, yeah, you can be the best you're gonna be. That's cool. Like, good job. But it's like, you're not beating that. That's just getting started. That's literally just beginning its journey. You're trying to even get up to that level. By the time you even get near his physique, he's like in another world. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, that's gotta be frustrating to people. And I think more people who bodybuild should be like, that's why you should focus on being happy with your physique and developing and like encourage, like getting better over time, and not so much having your sights set on such a grand projection of yourself. Because those levels of like, what should I say? Those levels of achievement, let's say, are reserved for like special people. Like I was never gonna be that. And I'm fine with it. But like, and I had that aha moment like, oh fuck, when I did the New York Pro and I was backstage with Rolly Winkler, Dennis Wolf, Eric Fankhauser, and I remember looking at them and be like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like I'm never, like even if I have 10 years to catch up, I'm never gonna have legs like Eric Fankhauser. I'm never gonna be as big as Dennis. And Rolly has the craziest body parts I've ever seen. Like I'm like looking at myself like, dude, you don't look like that. Like what are you doing? You know what I mean? It was like, I think there's gonna be a lot of aha moments for people coming up, especially if like that dude is coming out of the woodwork. Like no one really knew who he was. They knew he had a big neck. Yeah. And all of a sudden you see the rest of this guy's body and you're like, fuck his neck. His fucking legs are like, they look like Godzilla. It's like boom, boom, boom. Like, what's in the water in Brazil, man? Winstrol?